So I'm Sebastian Baquerizo. I am class of 2017, and I graduated from Duke University.
I'm Mary Laci Motley. I graduated from University of North Carolina, class of 2021. My favorite Robertson experience was definitely community summer. I was in the matriculate program, so I knew no one going into the summer, and I was actually headed up to New York for a private equity internship. And I was told, hey, cancel your plans. You're going down to New Orleans to build construction with Habitat for Humanity. And I met some of my best friends. I lived in a house with everybody was international, and it was an incredible experience.
So I was a matriculate, and it was actually incredibly easy to jump into the community. I remember meeting my friend Andy Tandelachichi when we were freshmen, and meeting a couple of other Robertsons, and me thinking, wow, like I want to be part of that community. They're doing a bunch of really cool things together. And so that's the reason why I decided to apply, really because of Andy. And what I realized is that once I got into the program, I got to know so many other people similar to Andy from different classes, outside of school, inside of school. And the amazing thing was how easy it was for me to integrate in the community. If you actually ask most of the people in my class whether I was a matriculate or not, they'll probably take a few seconds to think because it felt like a very natural transition, and that's because the program makes a lot of effort to integrate it, and then these people become your best friends for life. So it really doesn't matter whether you start at the beginning of your college education or while you're a matriculate.
Right. I love that. I feel like my story is really similar. I kind of had a windy road to UNC in the first place. I was supposed to play soccer at the University of Kentucky, and I broke my foot. So I ended up going to UNC very late in the game and had no idea what the Robertson even was. But I met, luckily, some Robertsons in the freshman fall. And I was like, these people are incredible and amazing, and I want to be friends with them. And then I had the opportunity to potentially be a part of the program with them. And same kind of situation, they encouraged me to apply. And it wasn't difficult finding my way into the crowd. I feel like that was clear from the start. Everybody just embraces you, and I think that speaks to the values of the program in terms of community and collaboration, and how everyone really holds true to those values. And I feel like what impresses me about Robertsons, that could be a mile-long list of characteristics, but I think something that they all share is passion. And that's something I think really unique to the Robertson community and evident in almost every single Robertson I've ever met. The passion impresses me, but what blows my mind is how different the passions can be and how incredible they are in their different spheres of work in industry. I just look at my community summer house, for example. There were just 4 scholars in it, and I'm passionate about concessions and fast food, this really weird niche retail industry. And then there's Zoe King, one of my best friends now, who's going to Stanford to study public health, and she's passionate about incarcerated women and the problems they face through the justice system. And then there's Ben Keegan, who was a physicist turned comp sci whiz going off to San Francisco to code the next Facebook travel company. And then there's Patrick Lynch, who's a stand-up comedian, improv aficionado going to Oxford to study satire. And that's just 4 Robertsons who have these really unique passions. And I think what they taught me is to be an effective leader and to really make an impact is you do have to care deeply, whether it's the people around you or the world around you or that issue you're trying to solve. Passion has been something that has always impressed me about the Robertsons I met.
What I love about the cohort and really the program is the diversity of thought and the diversity of backgrounds that you get from all over the world. So I'm international. I come originally from Ecuador, but I have friends who come from Europe, from Latin America, from Africa, Asia, no matter where you come from. And the beautiful thing is that values really do cross. No matter where you come from, it all speaks the same language. So even though I might have a different experience because of where I come from, we might use different currency where I come from, or the things that we like to do, like play soccer, might be different than what some of my other friends abroad enjoy. The ability to work hard, to be kind, to be honest, that really goes across countries. And I think the program does this amazing job at just gathering amazing people from all over the world and putting them together. I think On the personal front, what the program has done for me has given me some of my best friends around the world. Every time that I have a hesitation or I'm trying to think about a new idea, the first person I'm going to call is likely going to be another Robertson Scholar. So on the personal front, I've developed this amazing network of friends around the world who are doing from entrepreneurship to finance to consulting to medicine. And so having access to that group of people. Then on the professional front, and I think this really begins even while you're a student, the program comes with this good reputation, right? And so from being a student who wants to get into maybe a more challenging class, a teacher might see you and be like, oh, he's a Robertson Scholar. He's going to not only care about the academics, but also be outspoken, be a leader within the classroom. And so something that might be challenging, a class that might be challenging to get in, you might be able to get in because of you're a scholar. And then that also translates to by the time that you're looking for a job, right? Like you're looking for an internship and people are going to see that. They're going to see the experiences that you have traveling around the world, helping communities, developing yourself as a leader. And so I think it carries a long way. And the program has affected me, from getting my internship to getting a full-time job. It certainly helps to be a scholar. So that's what I would say.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Especially on the professional end, you made a good point where you have this access that the Robertson really opens those doors to. Personally, I majored in business, and at Duke, there's a business undergrad major, but as a Robertson, they encourage you to, email that professor, maybe that's in Fuqua, teaching an MBA class, and utilize that to your advantage, and that has been completely transformative in the classes I was able to take and the networks I was able to develop as a result of that door opening. It's really a key to those inaccessible, I think, riskier opportunities. And I think that also applied from a professional standpoint. I know I just graduated. I'm still a baby. But I think as an undergraduate, when you're surrounded maybe not by Robertsons, it's very easy to fall into a very structured path where you think you have to check this box to get to the next step, and you have to get this internship in order to land the job. And I think the community summer really halted that idea for me and transformed the idea that you can really define your own success and take a riskier pathway and still find success in your own way. So rather than maybe going through the private equity internship that I originally thought, I was working construction, but that led to different housing charities I was able to work with, and then the work I do now, it all kind of built on top of the fact that the Robertson encourages you to take that risk, and you're surrounded by risk takers. So I think that really applies to everyone's different professional interests.
I remember my community summer when I was in Mississippi. We visited New Orleans. A couple of our friends were doing their community summer there. And I remember meeting up with David Spratt, a good friend of mine, and he was telling me, Sebastian, it's all about the people. And that phrase really stuck to me for the rest of my life. And if there's one piece of advice that I can give anyone whenever they start college, it's really to care about the relationships that you start doing while you're in school. And you often hear the word networking a lot, which I think comes with, the angle of the first thing that comes to your mind is like going into a conference room and meeting with a bunch of people and doing small talk and doing this boring thing that nobody wants to do, not the people in the conference room or the people visiting, right? But really the real definition of networking is meeting people very closely, spending your community summers with them, doing brunch together, dinner with your college friends and with your college professors, traveling together, really bonding. Because 3-5 years down the line, the people that are going to help you are going to be those that understand you, they know you well, they know your curiosity. So that's the real beauty of the network. And I think the Robertson does an amazing job at just, from the get-go, you get this incredible network because you get all these opportunities to travel with these other fellow scholars, to have dinner together, brunch together, have arguments and incredible conversations. So I think networking and people are really important, and the Robertson is an amazing way to just gain and network immediately. Plain and simple, the Robertson Scholars Program is the best thing that's ever happened to me. Being able to be thrown into a program that not only will give you among your best friends, but will challenge you by doing the switch and going to university in the middle of your college time. Like, there could not be a more difficult time, like your sophomore spring, to go and start over in a different school. Have the opportunity, professionally to go and, intern at different programs and get a full-time job. It's just the program gave so much to me, and I feel very lucky and fortunate, and sometimes even undeserving, because it's such an amazing opportunity. So if you have the opportunity to be part of the program, don't hesitate to take it, because it could be the best thing that happens to you.
It will be the best thing that happens to you. I know it's truly it was transformational, and I think one of the big things that I think changed how I approached every part of what I was doing is the Robertson. It's not this gift. It's an expectation, and that's not always doing what everyone else is doing, landing those X, Y, or Z internships. It's sometimes doing something risky or chasing a really niche passion, and I think it's that expectation to leave a meaningful impact that drives such impactful leaders and inspiring alumni that I'm so thankful to meet every day, like yourself, and be a part of.
No, absolutely. I mean, when I like to think that when Julian and Josie were thinking of the program, really it was an investment in the scholars, and the ideal scenario was to provide them with the opportunities very young, when they still trying to figure out what they want to do, and really, launch them incredibly fast, and then hopefully change communities, change the world that those scholars are part of. So even though it's X dollar investment from Julian, it really has a cascade effect, or a snowball effect rather, right. Because it continues to go and impact all over the world, not just the education itself that he's right. given to the scholars.
No, it's so true. And I feel like everybody kind of holds the who much is given, much is expected mentality, which has been so powerful and inspiring to watch as people just gone into the world and done such incredible things, and to witness that snowball effect. It's been really special.
Awesome.